All right, what's up, guys? Dave Van Auken, the red light is on. I'm with the Ultimate Fighter winner, middleweight Bryan Pooh Bear Battle. My man, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Absolutely, brother. And all right, so pulling the curtain back, like I said, we just got on. Just before we talk about Ultimate Fighter stories, middleweight landscape, the Aaron the Dog podcast, you getting together, all that stuff. Before all that comes in, man, I just wanted I know it sounds so crazy. Man, so fucking happy for you, dude. So
Thank you.
happy for you. I remember years, literally like legitimate years ago. Like you said, I thought you were 2-0. You came back up here Facebook. You're like, Dave, I was a 1-1 pro. I was just a little young lad in the game, didn't even know how to communicate. And just to you win the Ultimate Fighter, something that I watched as a kid, as a teenager, and I was glued to the TV. And now it's like my boy Bryan Battle doing it. Like he's doing it, winning it. Man, from afar, I had my wife was watching it. I told my kids to go to bed early that night.
Yeah.
We were watching it, man. Just on the real, just so fucking happy for you, brother. So happy.
Dang it, man, dude. I tell you, the love that has come out of this has just been tremendous, man. It's like from people like and like you said, like it's the few people that did, see me when I was like 1-1,
Right.
just coming up, no one really thought much of me. And you guys have been gassing me up this whole time. And it's just like, it's cool because it's like, hey, look, everyone was right. You know what I'm saying? Fight Bananas was right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's very validating.
It's one of those things, man. It's like to people, and it's actually one of my pet peeves is that so many people on social media, they put out stuff and like, hey, I'm going to change my life around, or I'm going to go on a diet and or I'm going to be a UFC fighter. But then you see them a week later, they're not in the gym training their tail off. Like so many people talk about it, but no one knows all the hours I put in, all the gyms I drive to. Taylor Starling, Killer B week last week. I drove to Rock Hill, South Carolina. I live in Daytona Beach. No one sees the shit behind the scenes, and then I'll give you a great compliment. Keith was saying that about you, man. They go, Bryan puts in the work. Like this transition, over the last 18 months for Bryan Battle wasn't just, hey, Bryan wanted to be a UFC fighter. You've been putting in the grind. You've been putting in the work. So it's just awesome. It's awesome to, I think me and Aaron talked about it yesterday. It's just great that, one of the good guys. I feel like one of the good guys won. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel.
Yeah, no. And, like you said, I mean, it's just, I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by people who are willing to put the work in with me,
Right.
like Killer B. I mean, she's a grinder, like Keith, he's a grinder. And, like someone like Keith has been a role model for me coming up. It's, someone like Keith showed me what it was like to be a professional and how the work ethic it took to be at the top of the game. So, it's cool. Everyone who's saying these things, it's really it means a lot to me, you know what I mean? Especially because a lot of these people are people I have a ton of respect for, and we're just gonna keep it going, just like Taylor, she's gonna keep on rising the ranks and bare knuckle, I'm gonna keep rising the ranks in the UFC, and it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a good ride.
Well, my seventh question, we talked about it, so I'm going to put it right to the top of the list. Let's go right there. You mentioned Keith, Mon Warrior, Taylor, and I know you're not there like every day. I know that's not like the main right gym, but I know you go there. Like I said, Keith was just had nothing but the best things to say to you. This is before when you fought. This is just real talk. And how cool is it? And when I asked about Taylor, one of the questions for Killer B week was about the gym. Like she's like, Dave, like, my jab is cleaner. Yeah, I'm learning the techniques better, but like no one understands the positive aura around the gym, the family, we'll go to the end of the line for you kind of a gym. And it's so underrated. It's so underrated in the fight game to have that team, to have that positivity behind you. Like you said, like I watched the whole show last night, how you say about like Bunny or Aaron gassing you up. I know it's so minimal, but like that shit goes a long way when you're in some deep moments, in some dark rooms, and some, the last lap, I don't want to run, but no, Keith's got my back. I'm going to run this damn lap for Keith. Like, we're going to get it. Like, how crazy is it to have that just amazing aura around you?
Well, what I will say is, and I understand why people have to go off to these other gyms and, have to be around, a gym full of, pro fighters in these high profile places. But I feel like over there, you develop relationships, but it's more of like a dog eat dog world. You know what I'm saying? It's right. You got to look out for yourself at the end of the day. Where here, we have like a culture built, and we have people who are like the foundations of that culture, and it's trickled down to like I feel like I'm a second generation person, a part of that culture. It's like I feel like Keith is one of those people who established what our brand of fighting was before I came along, and just being able to be underneath Keith from the very jump. The first time I met Keith, the first time Keith saw me fight, and this was before we were like really close, I got knocked out in my amateur debut. That was like the first time he ever saw, and I came to his gym after that. After that, I came over there for an open mat, and and Keith, he's a very, Keith is Keith. He's gonna say crazy things, he's gonna do crazy things, but you won't find anyone who's as inclusive as Keith. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't care like who you are, what you've been through. If you want to come train and learn how to fight, he's going to teach you how to, fight. And, like you said, it's a very competitive, no one here is settling for anything. Keith isn't going to like let me, if he sees me do something wrong, he's going to let me know. And it's out of love. There's no ego there. He just wants me to be the best I can be. And, I can just say that in that whole gym, and because I would consider Modern Warrior like a family gym to my gym. And it's that whole family atmosphere we got. Everyone wants everyone to be better. Like, we understand, like, the better everyone gets around, like the better my teammates get, the better I get. So
yeah, 100%. Awesome. It's so funny. I do that to all my guys, and it's so crazy. The Fight Bananas family's growing so much. It's just not me. There's 8 people, 10 people involved now. And when I'll send like a clip to them or an artwork to them or whatever, they're like, hey, change this. Or if they say, yeah, I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. Like, I want to know if it's not 100. Yeah. Like, I want to know, like, tell me, change the color, or Dave, don't say this in the clip, say this in the clip, whatever. Like, I want to know the truth, because I want to improve. I want to be better next year than I am this year. But all right, here's generic Ultimate Fighter questions. You're the Ultimate Fighter champion, middleweight Bryan battle. So, okay, going into the house, I'll be 100% honest. I was leaning just from afar. I think I was going to root for Ortega. Is what I seen of him, kind of just his aura and like how he communicates. And to be honest, I'm a Max Holloway guy. So Volkanovski beat Max Holloway not once but twice, and maybe did he beat him. But then now you're on the team. So I'm like, okay, I got to lean that way. I got to lean. And then the show, like, and of course it's only what we see. It's only what the ESPN Plus puts out there and all that stuff. But Volkanovski won me over. Like, will be rooting for Volkanovski to UFC 266. Ortega did seem a little, little high on the horse, he'll come in when he wants to come in. And Volkanovski seems like he was eating lunch with you guys and he was opening the door for you guys. So am I off base? Am I totally on point? And were you leaning on a direction where you wanted to be on?
Coming into the show, I really had, in fact, I'll tell you a story, because they showed this a little bit, but they didn't show when Ortega and his coaches asked me this. When they did the coaches evaluations, the first thing Ortega and his coaches did was they went around to everybody and they were like, whose team do you want to be on? And it's like, they're like huddled around you, and then there's a camera right there, and you're like, whoa, you're like, yo, I don't even know you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like I recognize like more people.
You take a girl out for the first time and she goes, are we gonna get married on the first date? It's like, whoa, let's kiss first. Like, let's go. Let's watch a movie together.
It's like, you seem nice. I like you. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. Damn, but but no. So they did that, and I wasn't gonna just sit there and let them punk me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they were the team that flat out that I wanted to be on, I would have been like, well, I want to be on y'all's team. But I recognized more people on Volk's coaching staff, and I was like, well, I mean, if you want me to be completely honest, I recognize more people on his coaching staff. So if you're gonna put a gun to my head and I have to pick, I'm gonna pick Team Volkanowski. And so I don't know if that contributed to them like not picking me at all, or if they really, I mean, they said, I mean, it didn't seem like Ortega really thought I was anything from, the behind the scene clips was a little surprising because, he was always very cordial when I talked to him. But I guess he really didn't really expect anything from me at all. So, yeah, I mean, his coaches, I couldn't vibe with his coaches at all. Like the guys on the team, they were all cool, the actual fighters, but the coaches, and conversely, Volk was the nicest guy. He talked to everybody on both teams. He cooked for everybody on both teams. He took us out to the UFC fight that Karate Hottie headlined, and Cowboy fought Alex Morono on. He brought us over to his house and cooked for us. Like even after the fight, he got a cabana and took us all to a pool at, I think, Encore. Volk is the man, dude. Volk is the man for real.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. Did you get, being the last pick, they kind of really show-wise, and I don't know if you watched it 8 times over or maybe never seen it all or just watched it one time, it was just, they really were pushing that angle. Like, you were the last pick and stuff. Talking to the fighters, you're with them 15 hours a day, all that. Did you feel from the first day being picked to all of a sudden you're going to be fighting, and then, that day, did you feel the fighters were like, damn, like they messed up with picking Bryan last? Like they started to feel and to see who you really were inside the octagon, not even outside. They were starting to respect who Bryan Battle is as a fighter.
And I think within a week of being there, I think especially on my team, where guys could see me work, I think just the intensity that I brought to practice every day earned a lot of the guys' respect. And then I know after my first fight, a lot of the guys were surprised about the athleticism that I showed in that fight. So as the competition wore on, more and more guys on the team were kind of, realizing what I was capable of, and their opinions of me was changing. And I let everyone know, like it was something that the show was pushing, but it was something I was pushing too. Like I let everyone was like, oh man, it doesn't matter where you get picked. I was like, no, I don't like being picked last. I need to make sure this never happens again. I'm never getting picked last for anything ever again.
Kickball, right? I remember playing kickball outside, flag football. I don't want to get picked last in nothing.
Nah, I don't get in the ping pong brackets. I don't want to be put last place in the ping pong brackets. I know Uno. It doesn't matter.
Winners want to win. We're not happy. We're not lackadaisical. We don't want to be down there for nothing.
Yes, sir.
Another kind of fun question I have for you, kind of almost going forward, about weight. They talked about that on the show, and I think you and I talked about that the first time we talked about, like, where you came from the weight to now. You're like, if you had to say 5 years from now, hey, Dave, I am 100% a middleweight. There's no doubt about it. To me, you're still super young. Would you maybe put on, mass, and now you can do this full time? Like what kind of John Jones is doing, putting on body mass. Can you one day be a light heavyweight? Shit, Bryan, you look so good at middleweight, and still, do you think one day you can ever fight at welterweight and you would be the biggest, freaking longest welterweight? You might give Usman the loss. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where are you on weight 5 years, 3 years from now? Where do you think you'll be?
Man, I tell you, welterweight is what I like. The thing I've thought about the most is if I could make welterweight, and I'm getting to the place now where it's looking more like the older I get, the more light heavyweight would be more the route than welterweight, because I am like I'm 26. I'm turning 27 this month, and I'm starting to get my man body. I'm starting to see what people are saying. Like before you hear people say that, and
it's a real thing.
It is. It's a real thing. I'm starting to get my man body. And with strength and conditioning, because I've never lifted weights consistently ever in my life. Now, even with just the little bit of strength and conditioning and weight training that I've been doing leading up to this past fight with Gilbert, I was putting on muscle just from that. So if I go on a full regimen, I believe I'll probably put on more muscle weight just naturally, just getting in better shape. So for the foreseeable future, I'm definitely a middleweight, and I'm a much bigger middleweight than people give me credit for. But like maybe way down in the future, if I just keep on just getting bigger and bigger, I could see maybe 205 being something I would do way in the future. But for a fact right now, I'm a middleweight.
Okay. Couple more things, man. Appreciate your time. Days fresh off winning the Ultimate Fighter. So much. All right, I gotta talk about it, man. If I am 0.5% why you guys connected, I will. It's part of the gravestone of Dave Van Auken, and I love it. With you and Aaron connected, and I'm just so happy. I love watching you freaking guys. You guys are peanut butter and jelly. It's beautiful. One and foremost, like the 2-question part of it. One, how much do you love just doing it? Like I never knew I wanted to do this. 3-4 years ago, I did it once and I got hooked, and I never want to do anything again. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I just love it that much. Mm-hmm. And 2 is, do you think it's really helped your game? How much content you're watching, so many fights you're watching. Aaron's so good at like picking out fights and reasons why. And just, we're talking Brunson and Till, and he's like, hey, how about this? And then this is like, oh, like, does all this information be like, dude, this is making me a better fighter mentally? And then you can put the work in the octagon. So 1, how much you love doing it, and 2, is it helping your game?
Dude, man, I have a blast doing it. I like, especially, and Aaron makes it a lot of fun, because, Aaron doesn't take it, lightly at all. Like, he takes it very seriously. So it's like, Aaron carries the show, you know what I'm saying? He tries to like hype everyone else up. He tries to gas everyone else up, but Aaron carries the show. He's a pleasure to like do this with. And I believe in Aaron. I believe he's gonna do something, and I'm excited for what he'll eventually do. And it's fun to do. I love watching fights anyways, and so now I have a reason, and I have to be more intentional about watching fights and seeing people I might fight in the future. Seeing what does work and what doesn't work. I think you can watch film in a way where you're just kind of looking at X and O's, but I do think if you're a little bit more intentional about it, you can see trends. Like someone like me, it's like I can notice trends and notice, what's kind of hot right now, what to look out for more right now, what's gonna like come. You can see coming trends. So, I think there's no downsides. There's like no downsides to it. It's like it's more work than people think. Actually sitting there and breaking down film and analyzing it. But I think it only helps me in the mental aspect of it.
For sure. And to kind of piggyback on that, Aaron is the perfect combination of, he takes it really serious. He wants to hone his craft so well. He really wants to make the best pick for himself and the audience. But then the other side of this, and this, and this is why you guys connect so much, and this is why me and Aaron connect so much, he's got so much goddamn heart. He's just such a good guy, and he's one of those guys too. And I love surrounding myself with people like this. Like I have a big family. I love my wife. I love my kids. But there's some men that are not family to me that I will take a bullet for tomorrow. Like, I would leave everything. And, Aaron has that, that back. He has that red circle on the, on the emoji. Like, he will have your back to the end. And he's the man. He's the best. And the channel's growing, and you guys. And then at the end of the day, you guys is kind of back and forth and how you connect and then fights. It's I think you guys have an amazing thing going. I watch every episode. It's awesome.
Thank you.
You guys are the best, and keep it going, man. Just keep grinding. I think you guys got something really special there.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we just keep showing up every week and we just stay consistent, stay with it, I think it's more of a matter of when, not if, So,
Right.
Yeah, man, hell yeah.
Awesome. Outside the house stuff, I saw you got a new ride, you got a new Jeep. Okay, so how far is the baby along? Like, we're getting close, right?
Yeah, October 13th is when the baby is due, so we are right around the corner. And I mean, yeah, it's crazy. My wife's belly is so big, and like you can just see like the shape of the belly just changing and morphing all the time. It's so weird. Sometimes you just be sitting there and the belly will just like pulsate real quick. You're like, wow, there's really a person in there. Like, it's crazy. Like, what?
And before you know it, as soon as they come out and 2 days old at 18 hours, they already start looking at you. They start giggling at you. You're like, wow, like this is a person. And like saying that, as much as you love mixed martial arts and MMA and the gym and the family gym, when you have your own and when the baby comes out, there ain't nothing like it. I got 4. It's hard. It's a lot. But I fucking love him to death. I'll do anything in the world for him, and it's the greatest. It's the greatest, man. I'm so happy for you on that angle. It's just seems like Bryan Battle, man. 2021, when chips are down for a lot of people, it seems like you are having the greatest year of your life. It's awesome to see it from afar, man. It's awesome.
Well, and I'll say this is coming from one of the most down years of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, last year, even leading up to COVID, to when COVID hit, there was a lot of stuff that happened in my personal life that, was really, really tough, was really crazy. So, I mean, this year to just be on the back end, because it's one of those things where, there's got to be light at the end of the tunnel. And, you got to know that at a certain point you can only go up, and to finally start hitting that stride, to finally get out of a beater, to have a nice car, not only a nice car but a car that I've always wanted a Jeep. That's like go. That is just like been the car that I've said as soon as I can get it, I want to get it, and I got it, and it feels good. It feels like I'm ready. That's like my war horse. I'm ready to go conquer the world, So it's awesome, because it's like I got here and it's like, all right, cool. It's like now I can just keep on going up. It's like I feel like I can almost ascend faster now, So it's
middleweight division's absolutely packed. A lot of the high end to me. I am a diehard Whitaker guy. Robert Whitaker, I love. Izzy, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. 2 through 11 are absolute killers. You know this. It's going to be a big, big journey. Cannot wait to watch. Last question for you. Bryan Battle, Ultimate Fighter, middleweight winner 2021. What's one thing you went into the house and you're like, hey, man, I love calling this buddy, or I love playing this game on my phone, or I love going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting that iced coffee, and then you couldn't do it in the house. And then when you went out of the house 4 weeks, 6 weeks later, like, I really don't need that. That was maybe taking up time. That was maybe I was wasting some stuff there. Now you're at the highest level in all of mixed martial arts. 10 minutes is valuable. 15 minutes is valuable. What's one thing that maybe you changed before you went in the house to after?
I would say the biggest thing I learned was actually like the value of, rest and recovery, rest and recovery, and more intentional training, because before, it was just like go into the brakes fall off, and I'm always going into fights with major injuries, and but it's like not having to work a job, I was able to rest in between training sessions, and that made a tremendous difference in how my body felt. Maybe going hard one day instead of going hard 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like right. Maybe cut the extremeness down, like taper it down a little bit, like not all the way, but maybe take a day to just drill technique, you know what I'm saying, without you know, moving fast and, you know, colliding bodies, you know. So yeah, man, just to slow it down a little bit, I guess, you know. But yeah, there was a lot of things I learned in the house. It was mainly introspective things. It was just like I had a lot of time to sit and think. So yeah, I mean, I could talk about stuff I learned in the house all day. I don't want to.
Right, man. You know that it's been years. That's what I mean, man. It's been years. Anytime you want to come on, any kind of segment, any kind of like, hey, Dave, I got this idea, or anything you want. Always a platform for you here. Always a home, a door, you know, a bed. Any single time you want. Just like I said, man. How I started the show, I guess how I want to book it. And just so happy for you as a man and as a person. You know, the fight game and fights comes and goes and all that stuff, but just to achieve something on a kind of just a man level, it's amazing. It's probably an unbelievable feeling. I hope you just keep riding this positive momentum. I'm so excited for you and fatherhood. There's nothing like it. That's around the corner. And just, yeah, man, the world's yours. Like we living in the Bryan battle world now, man.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's the Pooh Bear show. Pooh Bear is the new king of the jungle. It's starting right now. The takeover is starting right now. But thank you, man. I really like I said, I mean, you know, just like even being able to have talk like years ago, you know what I'm saying, when nobody was talking to me, you know what I'm saying, it means a lot. So, you know, to be here now is just like to come, you know, full circle. I can't wait to circle back around every time. You know, we're gonna keep on talking about more and more accomplishments from here on out.
I know, man. I cannot wait to the day. One of my best friends in the business is Felicia Spencer. I love talking to her, and she fought for the title, and she brought it up to me, and like it hit home so much. You know, I got this beautiful studio here in Daytona Beach, Florida. She lives in Orlando, and she's like, Dave, I want to win the championship and bring it back here to the studio, and we'll grab pizza and beer and just have the UFC title, eating pizza and beer. I'm like, man, that, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still a fan, and like that would just be incredible. So hey, one day maybe, you know, middleweight champion of the world, pizza, beer, Bryan battle, man, we'll have some fun.
Pizza and beer are two of my favorite things, and I would love to share those with you after I conquer the middleweight division. It would be an honor and a pleasure. Let's book it.
Let's book it, my man.
Save this clip and we'll replay it.
Circle. I'll do it 3 years from now.
Hell yeah.
All right, battle, man. Appreciate it. You're the man. Be good. I'll talk to you soon. Whenever you want to come back, we'll talk. And be blessed, brother. I'm so happy for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. You have a good one.